Good morning, you guys. This is going to be the do the things that I've been putting off doing done day. All of that makes sense and it's fine. So we need to reupholster this couch cushion because you can't, can you see? You can see. Look, see how it's like fat? Not fat. She's actually lost a decent amount of weight. So she's not fat, but the couch is fat. And then it slopes down and then you can see clear rise. That is unhelpful. That's unhelpful. You're not helping. Okay, so and then as you can see over here, these parts are filled. This is the only one that's not filled. That's the only one that's not filled. So we have to stuff that. Then come with me. Oh, you know what? I need to get this done. Clean out the fridge. We'll see. And then also, it's really hard to show you stuff over the gate. Okay. And you'll see it a little bit better. Look. Stop looking at me. Can you see? Yes, you can. Look at the green on the window. This one's a little bit wider. This is like algae or FFI growing on the outside of this window and this window and this window. Also those windows, but we don't care about those as much. That needs to be done. Doesn't need to. I want that done. I think we're taking Assemble Calvin's chair off the list again because I love to be cruel. We'll see. I got caught up. So I actually started this video yesterday. I keep looking at myself and I'm really sorry, you guys. I started this video yesterday and look at how far we are in this progress, which I'll put in here. Okay, so this is Monday, Beth. I'm pretty sure it's Monday, Beth. It is. It's 100% Monday, Beth. Not that that matters. But I was like, yes, today's the day I'm going to get it all done. It's crazy how much I cannot get it all done. I simply cannot. But I flipped over the bench thing and I was super jazzed and delighted to see that it's just simple screws. In my head, and I don't know how, I genuinely don't know how it would work this way because I think in my head, somehow the bench was nailed to the bottom, like the cushion seating part was nailed to the butt parts. And that's not how it works. But in my head, I think the nails go through the cushion into the chair, the bench frame. And that's obviously crazy. That's obvious bonkers. So how about no? We're not doing that. And yeah, so simple, easy, just screws. The bigger chairs gave me a little bit more of a problem, but I'll talk about that during the bigger chair time. That's important to me. All right. Okay. So I know that The Gilded Age, the show, is really popular right now. It's hot and popular on the Netty Flicky. I think it's on Netflix. I don't know. Maybe it's on HBO Max back to being only Max and then they turn it back into HBO. Maybe it's on that. But because it's so popular, I don't think it's just me. I'm getting so much Gilded Age content. And so while doing this whole project, I am like super researching old Gilded Age, like the dollar heiresses and the cash for cornets, and the whole idea that British aristocracy who were impoverished, I said that word weird, but can we pretend like I said it normal? They came over and married the heiresses of like our railroad tycoons and our oil tycoons, mostly railroads. Just basically anything that's really popular on the Monopoly board, railroads, Park Place, and those things. They would marry them and grab all their monies and then go back to England. And these heiresses had a really hard time because they were living such a lavish life in mostly New York City. But then they'd go and they're in these very old, very rundown castles. And the English aristocracy's rules are so bonkers different than ours. And it was like culture shock and just shock in general. And sometimes it was a compatible marriage and sometimes it was an absolute nightmare. So that leads me to researching the biggest divorces that happened with the Gilded Age heiresses. So yeah, that's what the content I am currently consuming in my ear while fighting for my effing life with this nailed on tacky strippy. So I think Brett was telling me that a few of you might have, but I really specifically remember Brett saying something about it being a tack strip. Like, oh, it's a strip of dongle flangers that people tap in and it's fine. And I was like, oh, okay. So I peel the first one off and I'm like, it's not, they're individually tacked in because it's very high end, elite Ashley furniture where everything is done by hand in Italy, probably. Oh, okay. Sorry. If you guys aren't familiar, Ashley Furniture is a very basic B furniture store here. It's everywhere. And their furniture is mostly crap, but available. It's the Target of furniture stores. It's the Home Goods of furniture stores. So I went to Home Goods and got this tacked on strip of stupid. As I am peeling off the strip, because it turns out Brett was right, it is a strip. She wasn't lying like I thought she was. But as I'm trying to peel them off, some of them are mashed in so much harder. They must have had the strong people hammering those craps in. And now they're flickering all over the house. One goes by and like hits the Ninja cooker in my kitchen. One is in the living room. They're just everywhere. So now I have to go track them down because I'm not about to be a shoe girl in my house. Here's the one I lost. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere. Super excited for somebody to step on it during Thanksgiving and the incoming lawsuit. That'll be fun. Where is it? Where did that stupid thing go? I don't get to know that. Ugh. But I hate that I'm doing this. I'm peeling these crappers off and I am working on it. I think I gave up on that one too. So there might be two floating around that I don't know where they are. Later, and I don't know if you see it, but later I learned to cut my hands kind of as I'm pulling. So they more or less ricochet just into my hand than anything else. I don't know. But also, had I known that this video was going to be such a foot heavy video, you're welcome, perverts, I would have gotten a pedicure because yuck, my feet are yuck. And then also the other day I did try to go get my nails done and a pedicure and they're closed for the entire week. So I was talking to a friend and she's like, just go somewhere else and get your nails done. And I can't because the lady who does my nails is my neighbor and we're very friendly. And if I show up to her in an additional 3 weeks with somebody else's nails on my hands, like I'm going to have to explain things that I would rather let my nails grow out entirely and fall off my hands than try to have that conversation with her. Cause that just seems cruel and mean and terrible. And genuinely, I think her family would all collaborate and conspire against me and murder me in the parking lot. Just kidding. She's really sweet. Actually, she was the one who was like, we're going to Jekyll Park to try to see the Northern Lights. And so, yeah, I wanted to do that. That sounded awesome. All right. I have 2 individual pieces of this material. Remember, we went to Hobby Lobby together to pick it out. I also bought one basic handheld staple gun. Now, Mary told me not to. I think it was Mary. Somebody else. Someone told me not to buy the hand squeezy staple gun because my hand would get tired. And I was like, you fool. I hate you and all of your stupid advice. Turns out that would have been really solid advice. I was going to buy like a motorized electric-y one, but they didn't have them in Hobby Lobby and I couldn't be bothered to go to like Home Depot or anything like that. So we just buy the one style of stapler that they have. And I have Googled how do I do the corners? Like I have the general idea of how to cover the bench. Seems relatively easy. But how do you do the corners? Also, I'm not brave enough. This one doesn't have too much material, if that makes sense. It doesn't have an excess of too much. By the way, the staples aren't going entirely in. That's important for you to know. So sometimes I use my drill to hammer it in, as you do. And I'm trying not to overthink it. I'm barely thinking it at this point, maybe even underthinking it. But I was like, if I don't just go for it, I'm never going to do it. I'm going to freak myself out that this is some sort of a perfectionist thing, that I need to be perfect. And I don't. Because what was this? $7 worth of cloth, you guys? Was it 12 maybe? Less than $20 worth of cloth. And my chairs are so disgusting that it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So let's just effing try to get this done. And so we will. Now, in the thing I briefly watched, he's like, make these little cuts at these angles to try to pull in the corners a little bit better. And it works really well with these corners because they are regular corners. But on the taller bar table cherry things, there is a very series of irregular corners because they're not squares. They're, what are those called? Parallelograms? I have a couple of parallelograms going on. No, because that's a square but shoved over. So both sides are going, what do I have? I know what it is. What is it, you guys? Oh my God. What is that shape? Shorter on the top, bigger on the bottom. Not describing myself. And then it angled. What is that? I'm so glad I homeschool. My kids are the smartest kids out of all the kids. I promise you that. It's also a parallelogram. No, it's not. What the hell? I'm never going to be able to move past this. Somebody get me to move past this. I wish one of you guys would say something to me. It would put Tudors. Let's talk about Tudor England really quickly, and then we can move past what shapes are called. So, Gilded Era age heiresses, the aristocracy. How can I tie this into Tudor England? Because I can't stop thinking about shapes. Also, if I was a billionaire heiress, I would absolutely marry into the British aristocracy. I just want that to be known. I would do it now. Sorry, guys. If you think my YouTube nickels are so good. Oh, also, I was waiting for a call for an appointment, and that's why I ran out. But anybody out there, British aristocracy, I would leave Mark so fast to wear a crown legitimately at events. I mean, I know I could wear one now, but I don't want people to be like, oh, that's so weird. She's so pretentious. Like, I want them to be like, as she should. Okay, I could probably get enough of you to say as she should if I showed up in a crown. So never mind. Okay, sorry, I withdraw. British aristocracy, I'm not here to marry you anymore. I'm so sorry for your disappointment. It's fine. You should get used to Americans leaving you. Also, apparently it's like it's not our 250th birthday, but it's like a big birthday coming up. And apparently we invited the royals to come over and be like, want to celebrate our birthday when we broke up? And I think that is hilarious. It's very, very funny. But like, do you guys want to hang out? I know we broke up, but do you want to hang out? Probably. All right, so we get this reattached. It's not very hard. But, also that's another thing. I wasn't so stressed. I was light on the staples, and I was worried about that a little bit, but the wood part kind of tacks it down. So I showed you me reupholstering that one, and now you get to see how long and how difficult it is for me to figure out how to unscrew this stupid thing. It's what it is that it's very deep down. And this first one that I'm trying to unscrew here is at a wonky-ish angle, so it's not catching correctly. And I don't have an extender for my hand drilly thingy, which I love that thing. I love that thing. But it can't make it on its way down. So I was like, ooh, where's an extender? I cut it out because I'm a kind, generous, gracious YouTuber. But I'm in my garage for like 20 minutes just trying to find things. I bring every screw that I can find, do not find an extender for my handy drilly thingy. And I'm just working my way through the different screws. It is definitely a Phillips head. That reminds me of a story, you guys. Doesn't matter about this. Anyways, I find one and it works. The end. When I was deployed, I was working in a area that I'm not really allowed to disclose, but I happened to have somebody who worked right next to me. We sat next to each other, and he was British, and his name was Philip. And we did a lot of stuff. That's as like clear as I can get. And every time I said, could you hand me a Phillips head screwdriver or a Phillips screwdriver? He goes, all my screwdrivers are Phillips screwdrivers. And I found that to be absolutely bonkers adorable. It was very cute. But anyways, I'm going to pull all the tacks off of these chairs, but you don't really need to be a part of it. So I, at some point, cut the footage, but I'm doing my voiceover in a different way, so I can't know when. And then, so you guys did get to see just then that I have done this bench, which I can feel the cloth underneath is a little lifted right here, but it's fine. I like it. I kind of think it looks weird with the orange rug, but you know what else looks weird? How disgusting it was. And so now I have to, since I got all the tacks off, one tack that I had to pull off one at a time, one of these, look at this. Wait, okay, I can't influence her hand. Okay, hold on. We can do this. Influence her hand. Look at that. One of these is somewhere in the house. Probably on the floor. Probably over there. Can't find it. I heard it. I heard it fly. I heard it ting. And I searched. I don't know where it is. So we're going to try to get this done. Things got away from me. I have some extra family things happening in the background. So sometimes YouTube, come on. Okay, now I can look at myself. Oh yeah. Yep. Thirst trap. That's my ceiling. Do you enjoy? All right. My son requested that I make him a cup of coffee and bring it to him like a butler. So I'm going to go buttle my kid, and then I will be back, and we will be doing this voiceover style. So, trapezoid. It's a trapezoid. I Googled it while I was going back over my other voiceover. So usually what I do is I open a voice recording app, and then I hit play on this, and then I talk at my voice recording app. And Millennial Meg's like, that sounds annoying and terrible. Why would you do that? Turns out I can actually voice over in the app. And so I'm trying that now. I'm trying a new way, but I still watch it back over and cut out my coughing. It's coughing now. It's usually sneezing, but it's my coughing. Look at how many supervisors I have. I think I did a decent job with the bench, but I have 2 canine supervisors, but don't be fooled. The superior supervisor of all supervision is staring at me. She's trying to be covert, but she's not. Actually, I think she is in this one. I don't believe I see her. But yes, so here I am trying to cover my trapezoids. And if you can see on them, they're not even all, the 2 top angles are not pointy. They're also kind of angled and cut off because, you know, why would you make them pointy? That'd be easier for me to reupholster. And I am doing a pretty awful, terrible, stupid job. So she has to get closer to be like, are you seriously that terrible? I am, sweet potato. Leave me alone. So further inspection, and she just gives up on me. She thinks there's no way you can do this properly. And so she bails, which I think she should get a write-up for. She's not a proper manager. She's just sitting there investigating the rest of the chairs. All of my handiwork is suspect to her, and she wants to look at all of it. All right. I have way too much material to work with, but I'm also too worried to cut it already. And I feel like it kind of would have been way more manageable if I did remove some of the material, right? Now, the corner trick is not super helpful, but not super helpful. I don't know how to describe it. The corner trick is not easy at all on these stupid corners, especially the top ones. And in case you're curious, I mentioned this before, but when I am doing things like this, also I'll tell you in the next voiceover. You guys, we're going to loop back to it. Here's where I discover I'm out of staples. So I don't have any more staples. And I will be going into Hobby Lobby for effing staples. this with me so I can remember that I need 100 1/2 inch 13 millimeter staples. Well, I don't need 100 of them. I need 1,000 million of them. It's fine. Also, let's go look for Thanksgiving-y things. Ooh, this feels nice. I'm not having heat stroke. Hot flash. Leave me alone. All right, so I do go to Hobby Lobby for more staples and absolutely did not find a bunch of fall stuff for 90% off and then buy it because come on, guys, it's like 50 cents. I'm not gonna go pass up a 50-cent, whatever the heck I'm looking at. And in this, I discover it's not, I was out of staples, that's true, but it was jammed. That's fun. So, what I was going to tell you guys is that often when I'm doing these, I am listening to something in my ear, but when I watch it back to edit or do my voiceover, it really reminds me of what I had been watching. So while I was doing that last little bit, I was thinking about Jack the Ripper because that's what I happen to be watching is Jack the Ripper content, as you do, and like who they're supposed to be. I don't know. So every time I'm watching it back, I'm like, also. Okay, speaking of alsos, also, I gave up on that stupid stapler, went to Home Depot and bought this bad mamma jamma. Now, I went to Home Depot and I am in a crappy mood. I'm in such a crappy mood. And then I get there and I find one electric stapler for $140. And I thought, yeah, I'll spend $140 if I can get this effing video finished. Like, the only reason I did this, you guys, is because I repeatedly told you I would. Had I not said so many times, I will do the video of the things I have undone, I would not do it. I wouldn't have done it. The it was so annoying. I hated all of it. It took me so long and it was so frustrating, especially this part. So I'm back in town. It's my third time in town for the day. And I am trying not to murder everyone in Home Depot. And I get there and I discover I'm going to have to pay $140 for a effing nail staple gun, right? That seems ridiculous. And so instead of being able to just press a button for help or, I don't know, go to somebody who's loitering in their zone, you have to scan a QR code with your phone, then click the link and then say that you do actually, I would love help. Please send help. Why can't I just press an effing button? Why bring my phone into it? So this poor man, I complained about everything and he leads me to the significantly cheaper staple guns. And the one I got was like $30. So pretty excited about that. And since I was already in Home Depot, I bought the same aisle too, by the way. I was in the same aisle. I bought that extender for this hand screwdriver. And thank gosh, because there's no way I would have physically been able to re-screw in the couch cushions. It just wouldn't have happened. So I guess I'm grateful, I guess I have to be, that I went into town for the third effing time and went to Home Depot because now I have this thing and yay, right? So they're not great, but it's fine. I'm learning and it's fine. And the screws kind of also tack down some of the material. They don't look bad, but the corners could have been a little bit cleaner. But I was angry reupholstering. I was not making it with love. Had I made food, I'd poisoned people. All right, abruptly, now we're over by the windows. And I'm in a different outfit, I believe. And so, no transition because I was pissed. Sorry, I coughed. I was pissed by the end of the day. And so I did one chair, then I'd sit down for a while, then I'd do a chair, then I'd sit down for a while. And then I gave up. So there was no transition between that chore and this chore. I have Mark come over and he shows me that I can do this. Yay. And so I am cleaning the windows, as you can tell, you guys, but it is the third day that we are trying to get the undone tasks done. And we have exactly one of them completed. Fun for us. The window gets a little stucky here. I don't know what happens, but it definitely isn't gliding smoothly, but that feels like the patriarchy's task. I'm cleaning the window. The patriarchy can come fix the window after I'm done messing with it. I bet you guys didn't even notice Blackberry there. Rude. This window was by far the worst of the 3. All of our windows are really bad. And after doing this, I do think I'm going to go tackle, but look, I'm so glad I changed the window angle. Check this out. Crazy. And then I realized by holding the window there that I can't reach my paper towel. So I'm just like stuck there holding the window, yelling for literally any of my kids to come help me. And Mark comes out of the room and comes and looks at me. And 2 of my kids come out of the room and come to look at me. And I'm like, you got somebody bring me the paper towels. And everybody is just kind of like expecting somebody else to do it. And I was like, literally anyone, paper towel me. So that was a cute story. When I go and I walk through my yard, we have a significant mole problem. And like there are tunnels everywhere in my yard, everywhere. And when I walk, you can feel it squish. And when I came back in, I told Mark, I was like, hey, we have a significant mole problem. Like I saw a little bit of hints of it earlier. It's significant. Like as you walk through the yard, you just kind of sink into it. And he's like, no, the ground's really saturated. I was like, I understand that, but that's not what this is. Like, please believe me that I understand the difference between mole tunnels and hills and saturated ground. This is why they didn't let us vote for the long time. They really underestimate how smart we are, or they overestimate how dumb we are. I don't know. Although I've known some people that you would be hard pressed to overestimate how dumb they are. It's a lot. But yeah, so also I was trying to stand on a bench, and because it is saturated right there, the more I stood to clean, the further into the earth I sank, like a really slow quicksand. It took me that long to think of the word quicksand, but at least I didn't have to Google it in between voiceovers. So I got that going for me. Also, how come quicksand isn't an everyday problem? Why did they hype it up so much when we were kids? Why did they make us think that quicksand was going to be a significant thing and we had to like learn how to survive it? Why? Also, I have never stopped, dropped, and rolled. Oh, you know what though? People do catch on fire. So I will give them that, but only that. But look how pretty. Very cool. Here's what's annoying about this chore. Wait, hold on. Okay, that one was on the inside, so we're winners. That took no time at all. Upsettingly so. This has been running for 16 minutes, and I believe I started it before I started. It doesn't matter. 16 minutes, if that. It is so much better. So much better. I've been putting it off for 2 years. And also, I had figured, I thunked, I have something in my eye, and I don't want to talk about that right now. Okay. I had tried to pull my windows down, like you saw me do when I was cleaning them, and they wouldn't come down, and that's because they were in, hold on, I gotta take you off of this. Okay. It was tucked in this. See, look, it's a ledge and the window sits in the ledge, so it wouldn't come out. So I had assumed that they didn't come out, and then my husband was going to have to take these off, and I'd have to do both on that side. No, they do. Yep. So, okay, that's done. Tables are done. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I'll go stuff that couch cushion. I hate you guys so much. Also, there's still something in my eye. The first eye. Bye. I said I knew I was going to take care of my eyes. I'm not right now, but look at this. Do you see how green that is? That's the algae just living on those windows. Now got scared. Now I'm going to take care of my eye. Oh, something in my eye? That sounds like foreshadowing. Who knows? I certainly don't know. I know a little bit. But anyways, let's get this off. Because I was outside, and also just in general, because I was outside cleaning the windows, I am very scared of bugs right now, like especially spiders. So I keep creeping myself out that maybe there are spiders in my couch. And so like anytime something touched me, I was like, oh my God, what was that? That's fun for everybody involved. All right, so we're finally gonna tackle this effing foam. I had to open my closet with such caution, use my head to hold things in, and scoot that foam out, and then shut the door as fast as I could. It's real nice inside the closet of doom. The pillow closet of doom is where I was storing that foam for at least a year. We are going to do all the closets. I gotta do that because otherwise, like all of these tasks here, I won't clean my closets unless it's for you. Like, that's the only motivation I have. Otherwise, I want to ignore them. So, yes, I will be cleaning out all of my closets. I will have one mega every closet in my house to include pillow closet of doom, my actual closet, and the closet you guys have never seen. Very exciting. Very nice. I'm worried the closet you guys have never seen is filled with like rats. No offense, Jamie, but I do fear that a lot. So, I do want to address the fact that in the video of the chair, you may have seen me only use 5 screws of 6 spots to use screws. One of my chairs, when I took it apart, only had 2 screws in it. Where did those screws go? Where are they? So I shorted every chair 1 screw, mostly. I don't know. Instead of just letting one chair have 2 screws. And so that's how that worked out. In case you noticed and you're like, Beth, you only did a couple. So, all right. Because I've done this before and I know how much I don't care, I'm being very slapdash about stuffing these cushions because it will squash down. It looks insane initially, but you break them into it and they stop looking so over full and insane. Also, speaking of over full, yes, I did gain back all my weight. Thanks for bringing it up, losers. Oh no, YouTube's gonna demonetize me. If you were in my ridiculously long live stream where I address it, YouTube's kind of going through a change, a terms of service and a culling. And a lot of it's focused on anybody focused on weight journeys be careful, girl. It's wild times out here in these YouTube streets. My son is very loudly making food in the kitchen, and I do apologize if you guys hear that in the voiceover. I genuinely don't know how much of that got picked up, and I'm incredibly sorry, but he is growing like you wouldn't believe and is eating everything ever. I'm genuinely concerned he will eat the entire Thanksgiving turkey. Genuinely. We should have gotten 2 turkeys. One would just be teenage boy turkey, and then everybody else gets to eat what you eat. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. Also, I'd like to point out that this is sped up 3,000% and I'm in perimenopause. There's a lot of different factors that I would like you to take into consideration when you see me next after this, but it's sped up quite a bit. I am fighting so very hard here. This is way harder than fighting the tax. A little less aggressive, but just please remember it's really hard. I'm doing hard work. This is very hard, but it is done and I'm very happy about that. That one's hard. That one's hard. That's what she said. Okay, I'm going to throw the foam away because I'm not going to use this for nothing. F you. Well, okay, not F you guys. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Also, look at this. Look how deformed it is. See? Do you see it there? So, deformed ass piece of cushion. This cushion looks insane. It's hard squashing it back in, so I'm very winded. Come off. Ignore that cough because I probably will edit it out. So you and I both know that never happened. So yeah, it looks insane right here. See that? How it's all bulgy? It will calm down after we sit on it more. Like that one we don't sit on nearly as much. It's still very bulgy. But that one we sit on all the time. This one, I'm not winded. Save me, Tom Cruise. Just kidding. Okay. Throwing that in the trash. Just kidding. Okay, let's be honest. I'm taking both the box and that scrap foam and just throwing it in the garage. As I am in the garage, I will grab Calvin's chair,
Take it out, and I will see you in Calvin's room.
Okay, this is the one that I was most likely to not do because it was so easy to not do. I would just been like, you know what, F it. We won't do Calvin's chair. It's fine. It's been 20 million years and he doesn't actually need it because he doesn't work at his desk ever. He sits on his bed and just, he doesn't sit at his desk. And so I was like, maybe this is fine. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's best that we don't. Do you see me finagling with my eye? Ooh, is that foreshadowing? Who knows? Probably not. That's not foreshadowing that I'm effing with my eye right there. Nope. That's not how plots work, guys. There's no such thing as foreshadowing. So I do leave and I put water in my eye because there is something a little bit in my eye, I thought. You fool. Remember the time you thought you had something in your eye? Beth. Anyway, let's put together this chair. Luckily, I have assembled 100 billion items of furniture. I'm basically a pro at it. And this will take no time at all. To the point that I am annoyed, much like the windows and also the couch cushion. Not reupholstering. Reupholstering took for freaking ever, okay? But all the tasks that I had been putting off so much took 20 minutes or less. This one takes a little bit longer, but that's also foreshadowing, and I don't want to talk about it right now. Also, when I was speaking of the different things I was listening to, in this one, I'm listening to a lawyer explain how best get out of a DUI. Why? I don't know. I don't even drink. I rarely drive. Once, when I was talking to my brother in law, who has a car dealership, and so he handles all of my car situations, he had me give him how many miles I had in my previous car. And then, like 3 weeks later, he's like, hey, I need your miles updated so I can figure something out. And I gave it to him. He's like, how did you only drive like 30 miles in 3 weeks? I was like, I don't know. I don't really need to go anywhere. And he thought, he's like, no, seriously, is it broken? Is your odometer broken? I was like, no, I literally don't drive because going places is stupid. Except for clearly this week, I went to town 17 billion times for individual things. Oh, so annoying. But most of these things, they took no time. Ugh. I'm really glad that I did them. I know I always say that. When I finish the task, I'm always so happy that I finished the task. And yet it never bleeds over to me actively doing tasks. Like, why doesn't that dopamine carry over where you're like, I do remember how amazing it felt. It did not take very much time. My life is easier like this. All of that crap. Like, why can't my brain memory I don't know, remember that? Why can't I remember that? Oh, it's so frustrating. But we'll see, because I do know the longer that I've been doing my YouTube, the more I'm capable of remembering stuff like that. I do remember one of the times I looked around at what I needed to do and then I guessed how long it would take me, and it was an accurate guess. And somebody else, I swear to God, it was Tall Girl Jessica, but probably not, also had guessed and then left in the comments like, oh my God, I also approximated that it would be like 7 minutes to do that. Was that you? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I have you blocked anyway, so it doesn't matter what you write in the comments. Also, if you guys feel like it, leave comments in the comments down below. Like the stream. It's not a stream. Like this video. Subscribe. All of those super fun YouTube things. This chair, hard pivot, I guess, like had all of the screws pre-screwed into the screw spot. So you didn't have a whole bunch of hardware to go through, but it did take me a hot minute to figure out how much situations, like where the situation was, like where the screws were, how I would do them. Why did I say situation so many times? Now I've said it so many times, I can't stop thinking about the situation from Jersey Shore. What do you think he's doing? No shade, wasn't that attractive. But then again, I didn't think really anybody from the Jersey Shore was attractive. And really hard pivot. I don't care. You guys shut up. Let's hard pivot. Did you guys know that the house they lived in to film Jersey Shore and then the shop they worked at, the man who owned the shop bought that house on purpose because when he saw it, he was like, this would be a great reality TV show. He purchased the reality TV house for a reality TV show. He purchased it with the sole intention of letting a reality show film in it because it just was set up so well. And then had the reality show people work in his store. Like, what a good mastermind. Do you think he made a lot of money? What is he doing now? Who cares about the situation? Also, I'm pretty sure the situation got into tax problems. I think they all did. And then also, same vein, so it's not a pivot. I heard that, okay, Louis Vuitton and Chanel, maybe other people. All of this is alleged. None of this is true. One of them, I think it was Louis Vuitton, realized that Snooki was blowing up, but everybody really regarded her as mostly trashy. So they sent her just a buttload of Chanel, like bags and stuff like that, so that tacky Snooki would be photographed carrying Chanel stuff to devalue Chanel so Louis Vuitton looked better in comparison. Also, switch out all those names if you're a lawyer. Allegedly, probably not true, but also hilarious if true. So funny. All right, I struggled because there was a tiny little screw that was pre-screwed into that foot thingy. And I had a hard time realizing that I had to unscrew it to slide it in and screw these things in. And now, do you guys know how foreshadowing shadows things in the fore? Oh, hold on, I gotta put this in. Okay, so no, you guys know how foreshadowing foreshadows things in the fore? So I don't know what it was. My guess is that it's metal, but something flicks up and gets in my eye, and I immediately try not to rub my eyes. I try not to blink. I like creep out. I send Calvin in actually to turn off the camera in case you're curious. And I'm trying to allow my eyes to water as much as humanly possible, but I definitely feel that it is wedged up into my eyelid and like really getting my eye. And so I try to get it out. Like I go in the bathroom, I can open one of my eyes. By the way, in case you're curious, they teach you this in the military. If you severely injure one eye, you are supposed to cover both. So you pack the one injured eye, but you cover both eyes because your eyes look as a set. You move both eyes as a set. So if you leave the healthy eye open, the injured eye will look with the healthy eye. It will look around with the healthy eye. So you're supposed to blindfold people. So I am trying to both not look and look. And I was like, my husband's contact solution, but that doesn't seem great. So I'm trying to rinse under the sink and the angle is not quite right. So I end up just stripping down and getting in my shower. I'm not letting the shower directly hit me in the eye because it's crazy. That would be crazy. Crazy talk. But so I'm cupping and I'm tilting my head and I'm cupping the water and letting it aggressively stream into my eye. And I let it do that for a while. I gently blink. It's still definitely in there. So I am letting it, I'm doing the whole chemical bath. Remember when you guys took chemistry and they had to give the demonstration of like the eye flushing station? So I'm trying to eye flushing station myself and I'm just letting it hardcore pour into my eyeballs. I'm holding my eyeball open, not screaming. You would think I was screaming. I am not screaming. And letting it just like flush my eye. And eventually, the second time I allow that to happen and I blink, my eye feels okay. But I still try very hard. Like my makeup from earlier is still on my face. I'm not going to wash my face because I'm trying very hard not to like smush my eyelid around just in case it's still in there because it is the day before Thanksgiving. I'm not going to the emergency room on the day before Thanksgiving. First of all, it's probably incredibly busy. And second, that is a plot point in Friends where she scratches her eye before Thanksgiving and then she ends up dating her ex-boyfriend's dad or her ex-boyfriend's son. She starts dating her ex-boyfriend's son. No, thank you. I'm making him put all that crap in the garage because I don't feel like it. Plus he's stuck a little bit. It's fine. So when you saw me pause there, and I'll wait until he's out.
He's good.
He's good. Okay, so when you saw me do that thing in there, I'm sure I talked about it, but
some of that thing flicked up. Something flicked into my eye, something hard, a metallic. And so that's why I look like this. I'm sure I talked about it previously. If I didn't, surprise, something went in my eye and then I had a shower. I did it. I did all 4. I did the reupholstering the bench and chairs. I did my windows that I've been putting up. I stuffed my cushion and I assembled my son's chair that's only been waiting for me to assemble it for, I don't know, what, a year? I put all of those things off for at least 1 to 2 years. That's crazy. My eye still hurts a little bit. Okay, bye.